And welcome to the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. It has been a little while since we've been on air. We took a little bit of break from social. Some things happened. I ended up being in the hospital for a couple of shows. Nothing serious. I'm okay. Thank you. Uh, but either way, it's probably been over a month since we've had a show. So welcome back. And the reason also partly why we're back is we are introducing the Philly Sports Alliance, the PSA. So a couple of groups. I know a lot of you know us with the Phillyverse. So that's technically not going away. Phillyverse and a couple of other like-minded people and groups combining forces, and we're moving forward as the Philly Sports Alliance. So please share, please support. Let us know what we can do to kind of help you as fans. So we're going to be doing live shows throughout the week. We're going to be posting things on social media, updates, live, breaking news, stuff like that. So anyway, we wanted to kind of come and do a show. It's been a little while, considering we have about a month to go until training camp. We figured we'd start talking a little bit about training camp. Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Like you said, a month to go to training camp. And, man, there is a ton to talk about. I know you wanted to get into some of it, and I'll just start addressing it. The things that we need to see going into camp, and things that would make me. I know I'm very excited about this camp. It's weird because normally I come into a season with a crap ton of expectations. I get I can get a little excited. I can get a little wound up sometimes.
Wow, I've never heard that.
I know. Everybody just pictures me as this picture of calm, especially during games.
Right.
I'm always even keeled, never too high, never too low.
Never cursed.
No, absolutely not. I don't believe in it. Just devoutly against it. Gosh, I'm going to get struck by lightning here in a second. But no, I this year for some reason I just kind of had this wait and see approach. I really don't know what to expect. Typically, I pride myself on being very knowledgeable and having an extra bit of insight. This is one of those times in Eagles history that I feel like at some point I'm going to look back and be like, man, that was such a curious time because we're looking at this team and where are they going? What's their identity right now? You just changed coaches. You got rid of your Super Bowl winning coach. You got rid of the quarterback that, I know he didn't actually play in and win the Super Bowl, but he led you to the setup
there for sure.
And you got rid of him. And so this is a different era now. This is the Nick Sirianni era, and this is Jalen Hurts' time. And we're going to find out what we have in him. And they're set up right now to where if Jalen Hurts is the answer, man, are they in good shape considering all the picks they're going to have in next year's draft. They're going to basically be able to pick and choose their spots or where they want to move up or down to go get the guy they want. And that's a spot you want to be in as a franchise, to know you have the firepower to go get the guy that you want.
Well, and you're absolutely right. I think, the Jalen Hurts thing is going to, depending on which way it ends up, either really set themselves up if he is the guy, but they can also set themselves up by going to get the guy. And that's definitely one thing I know we're looking forward to coming, again, a month away for training camp, July 27th, which is, again, less than technically a month away. But
29 days to be exact.
Right. I wanted to pose that question. You kind of already answered it as far as what you're kind of looking forward to, but I'll pose kind of a secondary question.
Sure.
What is one thing, as the roster stands today, what is one thing that the Philadelphia Eagles can do to the roster that will make you feel a whole lot better? Like right now, I got there's a lot of uncertainty in a lot of areas. Where is it what's one thing they can do, whether it's, go grab this guy or grab a whatever position, as specific as you want to be. What's one thing that's going to be like, okay, you know what? I feel a lot better heading into training camp.
Well, I mean, I know this is going to come as a big surprise to everybody that I'm going to say this position, but cornerback too. To me, that's the position that's the most glaring hole I see on this roster, is especially for a team that prides themselves on putting together good cornerbacks. I mean, just look at the plethora of corners we've had over the years that have been Pro Bowl caliber corners.
Right.
And right now you've got Darius Slay and, man, a huge question mark on the other side.
Nothing else. Let's be honest. Nothing else.
Yeah, I don't know who you're going with right now. I mean, is it Avonte Maddox? Like, if we lined up to play football tomorrow, is Avonte playing cornerback 2 right now?
I would assume yes.
Right, and I would assume
no training camp with no nothing.
Right,
Avonte Maddox has to be, and is the only decision or only solution to be your CB2. Now, listen, I think in the back of our heads, I think McPherson, with some training camp and a little bit of luck, and blows up and says,
if he steps in there and takes it, then our problems are solved.
At least that'll go a long way, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure, but I don't foresee that happening. Let's be honest.
No, and that's not even a knock on him. Like, he's a rookie being asked.
Right. What do you expect? Exactly. Like you said, he's a rookie. So not much you're going to be able to do about that. But
it'd be spectacular. Like, to me, I look at that best case scenario for him is he steps up and has that number 2 cornerback spot by, like, say, December. Like, if he's in December, like, he's played well enough to where he demands the cornerback 2 spot, like, that's an ideal situation.
Sure. Yes. Some games played, heading into the season, maybe midway through the season. Yes. McPherson getting some good playing time, I think, and perhaps eventually.
Especially considering where they might be when it gets to December, where you're just trying to look at young talent.
Right. And maybe perhaps taking over that, CB2 spot. That would be the ideal. Yes. Sooner the better, obviously. But, right now.
Sure, but I think realistically that's your best.
Right. But I think right now there's still, a few people out there free agent wise that I would still bring in that would be so much better than Avonte Maddox. So.
I still think, I know that, Richard Sherman,
that's been mentioned, and Steve Nelson has been mentioned. And again, it all comes down to money because we don't have much of it. So I get why we're waiting, waiting till that price tag drops so that maybe Howie feels comfortable signing a Sherman or a Nelson to a 1-year, 2-year deal at a couple of mil.
Right.
But, unfortunately, I feel like there's just kind of going to be two sides just banging heads and nothing's going to happen because they're not going to lower the price and Howie's not going to raise his price, so.
And I can certainly see that happening, that it's just outside of Howie's comfort zone and he's just not going to budge.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I worry about that for sure. And you're right. That's the number one position that needs to get addressed before this training camp and or season starts. I don't think anybody should feel comfortable with Avonte Maddox at your CB2 from what he's shown.
No. And look, nobody tanks in the NFL. And if you're sitting there saying, well, what are we worried about? We'll just take a cornerback, throw Avonte out there for a year and then we'll take a corner in the draft when we're looking to compete next year. Look, man, I want to compete every week, and I don't want that mindset to go away from this team because losing, in particular in the NFL, I feel like it's such a mindset that you do not want that idea
to go down that road.
No,
no, 100%.
See the Cleveland Browns and what they went through for years.
Right. Absolutely. And let's be honest, I don't think there's high expectations, which is going to be a weird thing for us.
Right.
Heading into a season, I think for the most part, the last couple of years, even when we weren't the greatest, I feel like heading into the season.
Last year, I felt like we could compete. I felt like things go our way. We get a few breaks. This team can be right there fighting for a championship.
Right. But but this year is completely different. The
Right.
expectations I feel are a lot lower. I feel like people are a lot looser about where they feel like the Birds are this upcoming season. And to be honest, I think from what I'm hearing, 6, 7 wins is kind of where most people are at.
It's funny. I want to ask you a question. I know this wasn't really the plan for tonight to go down this road, but the more I think about it and the way that my expectations are, just like you said, 6, 7 wins,
Sure.
I almost feel like it opens it up to where this year could be just like we're just having fun. Like this isn't about like
You might be right.
the intensity of game day and oh man, we got to get this win today. And
Yeah, this yeah, or the
like I feel like it's going to be more of a laid back party attitude.
Yeah. How many
especially
times
early on, considering it'll be our first games back since COVID.
Well, there's that aspect, but you're right. Last couple of years, there's always been some of those must-win games
out there. You're waking up that morning ready for work.
Like we can't afford to lose this one. Like we gotta hammer this home. Like you know what I mean? I don't think there's going to be that many of those situations this year.
Like, are you going to really sit there? Like we played Dallas on Monday night, week 3. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't want to beat the Cowboys.
Right, obviously. But like, it's so early, though. And it's like the first part of their schedule is a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
And, we could be already in a hole, 3, 4, 5 weeks in that where, like, the rest of the season, it's like, anything more than what we're already getting is gravy. So
and
I think a lot of the expectations are going to be off, especially if we don't, come out the gates too strong. The Eagles, again, it could be just one of those seasons where we're just kind of like, hey, if they win, they win, whatever.
Right.
Oh, okay, like it sucks, but let's think about the future of this team. And I think in an ideal situation for the Eagles, I think Jalen Hurts plays good enough to be considered the guy moving forward.
Right.
And, again, you obviously hope that they make the playoffs. But again, if that should not happen, you hope they at least position themselves to be in a good spot draft-wise. And considering they have Miami, they could potentially have Indianapolis. So obviously I think we're going to be rooting hardcore against those guys.
Absolutely. I'm hoping Miami is one of the most disappointing teams in the league this year.
Yeah, and Carson Wentz plays the entire season. And unfortunately, the Colts go 2-15.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The Eagles end up with the picks 1, 2, and 3 in the draft.
But to your point, though, the Jalen Hurts thing is going to, regardless, is going to determine the path of this team moving forward.
Absolutely.
And, depending on who you talk to and even depending on what day you talk to the person, I feel like, you go either way with Jalen Hurts here.
Sure.
As far as, hey, I think he has the skill set, new coach system, Devontae Smith, couple of weapons there. Hey, Hurts is going to be all right. And then you talk to the other side where it's, hey, listen, those 4 games, I did not see, a quarterback that could sustain, a play in this league. And the inaccuracies, the inability to throw the deep ball, whatever you want to say. You have that side of things where people just don't feel like Hurts will be the guy. I haven't heard anybody rooting against him, obviously.
No. I've heard the whole that they don't think he's the guy. Not that they're not rooting.
I mean, I have a coworker of mine that is just dead convinced that Hurts is and will not be the guy, and that come this time next year, we'll be having a new starting quarterback, and hopefully, we'll be having someone using the hopeful 3 picks that we have, to get somebody, not just let's just draft somebody and hope again.
Well, yeah, and look, and that's the beautiful thing. If he turns out to be right, you've set yourself up to fix that mistake.
Right. And again, I think that's the beauty of where the Eagles are. Is yes, things aren't looking great.
And
we don't have a lot of money.
We just fun again.
We just traded away our franchise quarterback, our number 2 pick overall.
Right.
He's on another team, and things don't necessarily look great on paper.
And by
But
the way, that other team you traded him to a lot of experts, is a sexy dark horse Super Bowl team.
oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So you
that'll
have
feel
that,
good.
yeah, you have all that going for you, and obviously us as Eagles fans, we're going to be paying attention to Carson Wentz all season. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you're sick and tired of talking about Carson Wentz,
Our fate's still tied to him.
as I am, that his fate is still tied to us, not only, but also our in our hearts and in the back of our mind. If Carson goes to Indianapolis and lights it up and does well, it's gonna kill us. It's absolutely gonna.
Well, I mean, you already know what I'm gonna say. As we're sitting there, if say Jalen Hurts is struggling, and then we see the CBS breaking it or Fox breaking in with a highlight of Carson Wentz throwing his 5th touchdown of the day, and the Colts are on fire, clinching a playoff spot before Thanksgiving. You know what I'm going to say, right? Like my favorite thing to say in those spots. Gee, if only we had a guy like that.
Yeah, well, you're 100% right. That's what's going to happen. So
yeah.
Yeah,
where we talked about, and it's funny the way our segment started with talking about how this season is kind of set up to be more fun than normal.
Yeah.
And then you just turn that away where it will be zero fun.
Zero fun and ugly. Yeah, absolutely. If he's lighting it up and wins the Super Bowl in Indianapolis, there's going to be some people jumping off the wall with him.
I know. We're going to have to be the suicide awareness show.
We might have to have a special dedicated show just to make sure people can call in and talk about all their problems.
Yeah, and we'll have to do this like every night then during the weeks after the Super Bowl.
That's funny. So, again, if you're just joining us, and anybody who knows our show, the Football Smack Talk Show, we've been going on for a couple of years now, but you kind of have been knowing us that's, associated with the Phillyverse. Doesn't mean the Phillyverse is gone at all. It's just kind of absorbed and with some other groups, and we are now known as the Philly. In fact, I'll get out of the way. Nope, chair's still there. I can't do it. The green screen's
well, if you look over in the corner.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. We are known as the Philly Sports Alliance, PSA. So please make sure you keep an eye out on our some of our shows. We've got a whole lineup of shows. In fact, later tonight, we have the Diamond Club podcast, Phillies podcast, coming on to you later tonight at around 9 o'clock. Wednesday, we have the Bald Eagle podcast, which, by the way, is just a great informational show. Sean Pressman, the Bald Eagle himself, does a great job. And in fact, during the season is when he really shines because
I love his game by game.
That's a great
drive by drive.
But he also does a great recap of a drive by drive of just exactly what happened. Down distance, the whole 9 yards. He breaks everything down. So check him out as well. Wednesday is also Mike Sports with you and Jay, the football podcast. So it's everything NFL, college, doesn't matter. You guys talk about it. Thursday is Tendies on Patterson, which is a Flyers podcast. So they're pretty miserable as the rest of us Flyers fans. And then Thursday is the TLC podcast, the wrestling podcast, which I believe is going to be off air for the next week or two.
Just this week. I'll be back by myself teasing something better. Well, I don't know about better, but teasing a change.
Okay, a change to the TLC lineup. Got it. And then Friday is the Philly broadcast with myself and Ryan Finneran, 4 for 4.
Looking forward to seeing you guys back on the air.
Yeah, again, it's been a couple of weeks for that show as well. Again, mostly just taking a break and then some health issues, but I'm back, ready to go. But Yeah, we got a couple other shows that are in the pipes that are going to be starting up real soon. I think a Sixers show, an MMA show, and then we're doing something really cool. Probably in about a month, maybe a little bit more, where we're doing a fantasy football show. But we are essentially creating an entire new league, taking you through the draft, taking you through every single aspect of fantasy football. So we're going to break down, obviously, we're going to talk about rankings and stuff like that, but also during the season, week to week stuff, start sit, whatever, kind of is on your mind.
Yeah, talk about our lineups and who we're starting. Maybe give like some input on the why we decide to start one player over another.
So everybody in the league is going to be on this podcast, so it should be a real fun.
That is going to be a great time. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait for that as well. But anyway, back to the birds. That's enough talking about the PSA. So obviously we had talked about corner as being, something that the Eagles need to address before training camp to make us feel a little bit better about this season. Outside of corner, and again, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I need them to add this. I need them to. What's one thing I think, again, outside of getting a corner would make you feel a little bit better, about the Eagles moving forward? I'll kind of jump in.
Sure.
And I'll say, and maybe this isn't necessarily before training camp, but maybe early stages of training camp, is the wide receivers. And, you have, Smith, Rager, Ward, Fulgham. Those are pretty much, I would assume, your four locks.
Right.
Watkins, Hightower, you don't know. Maybe one of those will be the fifth. Maybe if they keep six. Obviously, JJ, probably his last season. But again, I want to see growth out of those four that I mentioned earlier, and then kind of which one of those 3 or 4 extra guys is going to steal that last spot or two. I feel like that would make me feel a lot better, as if early on it's all about the wide receivers, and they're absolutely flying around and making Jalen Hurts look good, because I think offensively, that's going to be the key for Jalen Hurts, is these young receivers. I mean, who's the oldest receiver? Like 24 years old in that group?
Yeah. What is Greg Ward, the senior member?
Greg Ward is the senior member, and he's 24. So it would make me feel a lot better knowing, that those guys came to play, and that will hopefully tell me, how Jalen Hurts' season might go. Because if the wide receivers are doing their thing, it's going to make Jalen Hurts' job a lot easier.
Right. And look, I want to hear those ridiculous updates that you get every day from training. Oh, this guy really shined today.
Oh, yeah, this guy made a one-handed catch and blah, blah, blah. This guy flipped over a defender and,
hurdled 6 defenders and stayed in the air and fell right into the end zone from the 50-yard line. Like, he literally flew like he had wings into the end zone.
Yes. I want to hear those all day long about the wide receivers come early training camp. I think that would make me feel a lot better, about what's happening, for the birds. I'll pose this out to those watching and appreciate, the support there. But, if anybody out there wants to chime in, what's one thing that you guys are kind of hoping happens either before the training camp starts on July 27th, or I guess in those early stages of training camp that'll make you feel a little bit better about the season? So please make sure you comment on that. Eric, what's one thing, again, outside of your already selection of CB2?
Yeah. I want to see, I want a definitive answer. What's going to happen with Zach Ertz? I want to see that definitive answer. If that means he's released, if he's traded, I just want to see it happen early on.
Do you not
drag this out until late August?
Do you not think that a decision one way or the other will happen within the month?
I would think. I think it has to.
What is the percent? What is the percent that you absolutely think that Zach Ertz would, even whether he shows up or not, would be on the roster come July 27th, what percentage do you think there is that Zach Ertz is still here?
Maybe 20.
20?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
I don't think he's going to be on this roster. I think they're going to try to find a way to move him.
You thinking I'm going the other way?
Okay.
I'm thinking the percentage is 0.2. There's no way Zach Ertz could be on this team in a month. There's no freaking way.
Like, the thing is, if you would ask me a month ago, I'd have probably said that like 0.2%. But each day it's starting to get more and more like, okay, like, are we really gonna just release him and just like,
I think we honestly we would. And as John
I think that's silly. Like,
the Zach Ertz definitely want out from everything he says, body language, everything that's being reported. It sure seems like he wants out. And I will say, by the way, John, appreciate the support as always. If you're out there, you're looking for a really great group on Facebook, please make sure that you actually you follow and like and join John's group, Philly Sports and More with John J. So just search that up, join that up, and do it up. Good stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. No, look, the only reason my percentages have gone up is just because, like,
how is it not happening now? By now,
yeah.
how is it not happening? I get it. I completely get it. But I just don't know how he's going to be on this team by then. It's ridiculous.
And, and we talked about wanting to hear the crazy reports from the wide receivers. I'll tell you, if they're so dead set on moving on from Zach Ertz and Zach Ertz is so dead set on leaving, I better be hearing a crap ton of reports about how amazing Dallas Goedert is playing.
There is that. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. John, again, coming strong here. Do we need something back for Ertz to feel good about the breakup? That would certainly soften the blow, John.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Either way, it's going to sting.
It's gonna sting. I mean, come on. How much?
The guy caught the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. And I mean, think about it. I have a couple of his jerseys, his shirts.
I have a Christmas ornament with him scoring that touchdown.
There you go. I even have Zach Ertz on my socks.
Yeah.
I am. And you know what? I don't really care. I'm still gonna wear all that shit all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll still wear my Ertz jersey. Right. When we do our countdown to the season, I will still wear my Zach Ertz jersey.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, are we already past Zach Ertz at this point to the start of the season?
Well, no. Well, I mean, but I'm just saying, you know how we always do our 30 days of Eagles jersey. Oh,
that's right. Yeah, we got some. I'm pretty sure I got officially at this point, since we did it. Did we do it last year, or was it 2 years at this point?
Last year.
Okay.
We did it, yeah.
So at this point, I absolutely have a new jersey for every day for 30
nice.
To the season. So
I feel like we have to, and I'm just going to make plans right here on air with you.
Yeah, let's do it. I know where you're going. Let's do it.
I want to go to Jersey for jerseys.
Yes, absolutely. We got to go to Lenny and Susie's shop in Pittman, New Jersey.
Yeah, Pittman, New Jersey. Very good.
Thank you. Dude has amazing selection of sports memorabilia. Sixers, Flyers, Eagles, Phillies, doesn't matter, has everything, but also has a huge selection of Eagles jerseys. And if they don't have what you need, he can get it for you.
Yeah, he can get it. It's amazing. I got a Herschel Walker jersey from him. Like, I did not think I would ever be able to get the Eagles Herschel Walker jersey, and I got it
relatively cheap.
Yeah,
$50 or $60, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was prepared to drop $100 for it, and he was just like, "Oh, $50." I was like, "Really?"
Len's good people, so yeah. We absolutely, we should plan that trip prior to the 30 days.
Exactly, because I want to have a few. Yeah, I want to have a few more to throw on
to the jerseys from Jersey. So yeah, but if anybody doesn't know, if you follow us, we have every show here on the Philly Sports Alliance, and subsequently the Phillyverse has their own page on Facebook, and that's where we did a lot of our posting under the Football Smack Talk Show official Facebook page. Essentially, what we did was every day leading 30 days up until the start of the Eagle season, we posted a brand new photo of us wearing a different, whether it was jersey or shirt, whatever we had of the day, and we wore something Eagles that day leading up until the start of the season, and we posted that every day. It was really great.
That was great. Like, I mean, I would wear those jerseys or shirts to work, and like people were commenting the whole time. Like, you know, people that I run into every day at work were like a few days into it. They're like, "Man, wearing a lot of Eagles stuff."
I'd be like,
and I mean, look, I always wear a lot of Eagles stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a fun time. I know we had a couple people that got into it with us as well. So yeah, we'll be posting about that. Speaking of future events, we're also going to have our next off-season roundtable, essentially a season preview. So we'll probably do that I guess we'll kind of do that midway through camp, as we'll have a better understanding of what's going on, probably early August, I would assume, maybe mid-August. And we'll kind of have a better idea of what's going on in the season, who might make the team and whatnot. So we'll break everything down. It's a huge show, usually 2 or 3 hours, where we break down the roster, we break down training camp, we break down the season, we break down the schedule, everything you could possibly need or want, or even stuff you don't want before the season starts, to get everybody ready for the bird season. So,
and this one is going to be back out into the public again.
I believe it will be. We're still working on potential locations, but we'll figure all that out.
Once we do that, everybody, you got to come out if you're local. Yeah. If you're not local, make a road trip out of it.
Make a road trip. We'll have special guests. We will have beers.
Lots of beer.
We'll put everything on Eric's tab. That'll be great.
And everybody feel welcome to come help me do dishes afterwards.
That's great. John, man, appreciate it, buddy. As always, we do appreciate the support, bud. We certainly are glad to do our part for you as well. Great show. One more question. Will the O-line provide enough time or protection to allow the wide receivers to get open? Are you both confident in the line? Eric, I'll allow you to answer that one first.
If this offensive line stays healthy, I'm absolutely confident in it. The problem that came into the play last year was that if did not pan out. The offensive line was just riddled with injuries. And look, and if that's the case again, then no, I'm not confident in it. But based on the
take everything into it.
Okay.
Right now, scale of 1 to 10, injuries, potential injuries, potential whatever.
I mean, we'll just
now
normal amount of injuries.
Okay, right, obviously, but I'm just saying, how confident are you enough? I obviously understand skill-wise, everybody's pretty confident, but are you confident enough for them to stay healthy, to utilize those skills, to protect Jalen Hurts, and for those wide receivers to get open?
I'll say,
what are you saying?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll say around 7.
Stomp it down. Let's nail this. Nail it down. So
I'll say 7 just because I'll say
about 7 or 7.
No, I'll say 7. I'll 7.
Okay. Say 7. I'm going to say 5.
Oh, okay.
I'm not confident that the line is going to stay healthy enough to protect him, but
that's my concern because guys are older.
Well, I am very, very happy with our depth as it is right now. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that depth because either way, you have whoever loses the Dillard Mailata left tackle.
Guys, depth, yeah,
that's a depth. You brought in Landon Dickerson, who again, when healthy, is a monster, and you have a couple other guys there that got a lot of playing time last year, got a lot of experience that are going to provide a good amount of depth. So, say
Lane Johnson stays healthy and can be that anchor on the right tackle there.
Right. So again, if God forbid, if somebody does go down, I feel like we have proper depth in most places to where, it'll be a little drop back, but it won't be so severe as it kind of was last year, early stages while people were still figuring themselves out. So I'll say 5 for right now. You tell me and prove that you can stay healthy, I will bop that up to like a 9 if you can say you're healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic. Like you said, I think it's the depth that's got me thinking that, like, okay, even if you sustain a couple injuries, I feel like the guys who are going to end up behind there are going to come in and play well.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel maybe a little bit more confident than you. I mean, it's still not, 7 out of 10 is still like that's barely passing.
Well, yeah, it's still passing, but
yeah. I mean, hey, it's what I survived on.
right. So hey, listen, we'll be coming to you each week, and we'll kind of break down a position by position about the team and leading into training camp. Hopefully there'll be some Eagles news to kind of share along with you and discuss, as obviously this kind of is the low point of the off season.
Yeah. We are needy.
Not a lot happens, and we're basically just refreshing Twitter and hoping to God something happens so we can talk about it. But
yeah,
unfortunately, if that does not happen, we'll still kind of break down some things for you guys, and hopefully we can start a good conversation. So, but well, that's going to be it for us. We're going to do kind of a shorter show tonight. Normally we'll kind of do an hour, but like I said. This kind of is the slow point of the off season. So we're just waiting for training camp, and then boom, it ramps up real quick. So, but thank you very much for everybody for joining us again. Sorry we've been kind of off air for the last month or so. Again, kind of some things happening. So we appreciate you sticking with us. Please make sure you like, follow, share, and whatever other buttons on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Appreciate the love on Twitch. So yeah, we love it. We appreciate it. We're glad to be back talking birds under the brand new Philly Sports Alliance. So that is the group going forward. So please check out updates from the Philly Sports Alliance. And if you have not liked or followed the Philly Sports Alliance, please do so. As we are kind of just starting out, starting fresh. So yeah, we need all the love and the support we can get. So don't forget to make sure you stay locked to the Philly Sports Alliance for all other shows here on the network. Like I said, later tonight is Philly's podcast, the Diamond Club podcast. So check that out. We're off Tuesday, but we're back on Wednesday for the Bald Eagle podcast. And Mike Sports Thursday is attendees on Patterson, the Flyers show. And normally the TLC podcast, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. But we're off this week for that show. And then Friday is the Philly Barocast, the 4for4 Philly Sports and more. So check us out. Give it a like, give it a follow, give it a share, give it a whatever else, whatever the other buttons say. I don't know. They all have different buttons. So follow, share, like. I don't know. What's the other one?
Blindly follow.
But yeah, blindly do it. All right, Eric, do you got anything to add before we hop on out of here?
No.
All right, keeping that streak alive. Cal Ripken, here you come. All right, everybody, thank you so much for the inaugural Football Smack Talk show on the Philly Sports Alliance, although I think this might be, we're inching towards 250 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So maybe we'll do something for that. Who knows?
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, if we're lazy enough. But all right, everybody, thank you so much. Go Birds! And we'll, like I said, we'll be back each and every Monday at around 6:30 to kind of break down what to expect for the Eagles training camp. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for the Football Smack Talk show. I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Only 73 days to go.
73 days. Wow. That's actually not bad.
Right?
It's like
We're going to make it.
I think we can do that.
We're going to make it.
We are going to make it. So well, that means we essentially have 43 days to decide when we're going to how we're going to do our 30 jerseys in 30 days. So.
Yeah, which means we're going to have to get over to New Jersey.
For jerseys.
Jersey for jerseys. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next week. Football Smack Talk Show. Go Birds.
Go Birds.